This is my high mileage E92 3. I bought this car from a salvage yard, rebuilt it, and in 3 days time I'm going to be driving it to BMW Museum in Germany. And when I say high mileage, 209,000 miles. So to be honest, I don't really know what to expect, but it's something that I've wanted to for a hell of a long time, and I can't think of a better car to take.
But there's one problem.
Or should I say, a few problems. It's still not quite ready to go, so we still need to sort a few things out before we can take it, and we've got less than 3 days to get them done.
So last time I refurbed the wheels on it, and I was going to put space on, but then I realised I ordered the bolts in the wrong size.
But now I've got the right bolts, so we should be able to put them on. As well as that, we've also got to service the car, do the diff oil in it, and also get a four-wheel alignment done, which I'm kind of trying to fit in today.
And a few other little bits as well, if I get a chance.
Now, you might say we're calling it a bit close, and you're not wrong. So really, we do need to get on with it. So we need to get this done. Let's get on with it. Okay, so I've cracked the wheel bolts off, jacked the car up now. Let's move on and get the oil out.
And last time I had issues with the bonnet catch. I'm pretty sure I've sorted it, and I'm hoping I have. Let's have a look. No! Oh yes, there we go, springing back into life.
Okay, so bonnet catch is working a lot better now. Still a bit stiff, so I might look into that a bit. For now though, we'll just get the oil filter out. Right, so now let's pop into the car and we'll drop the oil out. Right, so there's two sump plugs, one there and one there. One is an 8, I think. I hope. One is an 8 and the other is probably a 6. Right, so first one, and then we'll undo the front. I bet this oil will come out and it'll be black. Oh yeah, look at that. That oil has only done, I don't know, about 1,000 miles at a push. But I've put some cleaner in it to try and flush a load of the crud out, because it has done a lot of miles. But it looks alright, to be fair, so we'll let it strain out for a bit and then we'll move on to that one. Should be the last load full. Right, so the washer's still in there. I'll leave it in, and you know why? It's because the new one that I've got is too small, so that will do, it'll be fine. I'll nip that up and we'll move on to the front. Right, so we'll leave that to drain for a bit. Meanwhile, we'll get the new filter in. Right, so we'll get the old filter out, replace both the O-rings, and then we can put the new one back in. One new O-ring. Okay, so new oil filter's all in. We just need to put this cap back on. Something like that. Thank God it's got a mark on it, or I'd have never guessed that. Plug that in. There we go. Right, so the new oil filter's in. Of course, in a minute we'll put the new oil in. First though, we need to do that sump plug back up. And torque spec feels about right. Right, so that's done now. I would also like to do something about the under tray. I've got the old under tray, it's in a bit of a bad shape, and I still need to put the arch liners in, which we'll get around to later if I have time. For now though, we'll put the oil in. Okay, so I've got two, because it takes, I think, about 9 or 9.5 litres, and it doesn't really matter what oil it is, but it needs to be 1060. We're going full in on this. Get that cap out of the way. I've got like an hour left to do this. I don't know if I've got time for that. You know what? Why not? I'm going to send it. Yes, I know I dropped a bit of oil, but it doesn't really matter. I've got an hour to do this, and then it's meant to be having its tracking done, so we need to pick up the pace a bit. Okay, so the engine oil's down, of course. We'll start the car up and check that in a bit. For now, though, we'll move on and do the diff oil. Okay, so diff oil needs to be 75/40. It's meant to be 1 litre, but I've got 2 just in case. Okay, so let's take a look under here, see where it is. Aha, okay, so diff oil. First of all, we'll do the fill plug, just in case if it goes wrong with that. Okay, so I think it's a 14. Is it a 14? Yeah, 14. Hey, need a bit of leverage on that. There we go. Good, fill plug done. Now for the drain plug. Let's see how bad it actually is. I don't know if it's ever been done, to be honest, so... Ugh, that's crusty, isn't it? Smells grim, and it doesn't look too great, to be fair. Okay, let that drain out and we can start to put new stuff in. Right, so it's meant to take about 1 litre of diff oil, but I've got 2 just in case. So the way I'm going to do it is literally suck some into that and literally just put it in the fuel plug. Okay, so that's pretty much dry now. We'll just get that back in and we can top it up. Okay, so what we'll do now is we're literally just going to top it up until it starts dripping out of here. That's it. It's starting to drip out a bit now. Let's put the fuel plug on. Right, so I've put about 3 of them in, so it takes about 1, maybe 1.5-ish litres. Okay, so diff oil's all done. Let's quickly put some space on and then we've got to get tracking sorted. Okay, so last thing we need to do now is get the wheels off, space on, longer wheel bolts on and the correct wheel bolts this time, and then we'll drop it down and we've got to take it to the tracking. So let's get on with that. Okay, all sorted, let's go.
Okay, so ready. That looks way better. Anyway, we've really got to go.
Okay, so far then, feels pretty good, and I didn't bother checking the oil, to be fair. I kind of just winged it, and thankfully on here it's literally where it wants to be. It's bang on the middle. Might need to top that bit a bit, but so far she feels good. So a good bit of guesstimation there to say. Right, so one thing that really irritates me with this car is I'm low on fuel, yeah. I've got the fuel light on, and it really should show me how many miles got left. So now we're really low, but should just about be okay. And now, if you see this, see that the fuel light comes back on. Shouldn't really be running it slow, but I've got no choice right now. I don't know why that is. I know I need fuel in it, but come on, tell me how many miles I've actually got left. I think that's a bit more important. Anyway, let's get the tracking sorted out. Okay, so we're going to get the tracking sorted out at Fourtrax. So we're going for a full four-wheel alignment on this, but the only downside is the rear bolts on these are known to snap off, and seeing as they're not too far off, it's probably best to leave it for now. But on the other hand, the front is quite a bit off, but after a few tweaks, it's all okay now. Okay, so the tracking's all sorted out now. Massive thanks to Fourtrax, of course. I'll leave a link down below. Anyway, we need to go and get fuel, and then we'll try and do something about the inner tray and get some of the other little bits done. Okay, fuel.
Yep, still going. There we go.
Lovely, so there we go, full tank, apparently 330 miles. I don't think we'll get quite that though, will we? Okay, so we've got the tracking sorted out now, we've got fuel in the car, we've got a couple more days to go. Today we'll start off by trying to sort out the under tray.
So this is the under tray that I got with the car after being written off, and this whole time I've just left it off because it wasn't worth putting back on, and I just forgot about it really. I did plan on getting an aluminium one, but time goes by pretty quickly and I'm not going to get one of them in time. So for now, I'm just going to have to make do with this, try and fix it and see what we can do about it. I was going to chuck it in the bin, but then I realised we need the front under tray on and the side attachments to try and fit the arch liners to the car, which we're going to need when we're in Germany.
And I know that under tray is absolutely bad, but we need to put it back on the car so we can put the front half of the arch liners in, because we're going to need that by the German road laws. And with it being, well, not the most inconspicuous car going, we don't really want to give them any reason to pull us over. So let's get that fixed and see what we can do about it. Okay, so I'm going to start off by trying to stitch it back together with a few plastic welds just to try and fix some of the cracks in it. Now, I know it's quite questionable, but for now, it's going to have to do. And now I'm going to drill some holes in it and put some cable ties through to hold the rest of it together. The reason I'm doing this is because it's made out of some weird sort of felt material that you can't stitch back together. So I'm trying to make the best out of a bad situation. Now to finish off, I'm going to cover some of those cracks up with a bit of hot glue. Now, I know this thing looks dreadful, but it is only a temporary fix. And you're probably thinking, what an absolute bodge. You're not wrong. It's a complete bodge, but it's function over form for now. It'll have to do. We've got to make do with this. At a later date, I'll get an aluminium in a tray, or a better one at least, but we've got to get the march liners back in, so we've got to work with what we've got. Let's get it on. Right, so good news, it does fit, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through these M6 holes with a tap. They look a bit corroded and I don't really want them to cross thread. When I've done that, I'll also drill a couple of holes in the bumper, not that I really want to, but kind of need to. Just some small ones at the front, and then we should be able to put this on and also put the arch liners on. Let's get on with it. Okay, so the inner tray's all in place now. Made a bit of a mistake with these, but now I've put a couple of others in, all nipped up. That's pretty solid. So let's take the wheels off and try and put the arch liners in. Okay, so we'll get started on this side. My plan then is to put the arch liner back in here, get it all roughly in place, and this corner bit that's missing down here, I'm going to try and remake that with a thin sheet of aluminium, cut it into shape, fasten it there, maybe drill another hole here, make use of that fitting, and well, just see what we can do. So we'll get the arch liner and we'll give it a go. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to roughly try and position the arch liner in place to give me a rough idea on what I need to do. Then we're going to get a bit of aluminium, try and mock it up and see what I need to do. Now that I've got a rough idea and made a few guesstimations, I'm just going to try and cut away it and bend it into shape to try and make it fit into that gap. I didn't get this right my first attempt, so I had to get another bit of aluminium, which I used template off the one that I just cut to make a better piece, and slowly I worked it into there. Now that I've got it roughly into place, I'm going to clamp it down and then try and drill some holes in it. So I need to clamp it onto the end of the tray, and then I've also made some of these brackets which I'm going to use to clamp into this and drill holes through to connect to the arch liner. I've got a rough idea. I'm going to put the arch liner back in, connect a few of the things back up, and then I'll drill the holes through so that when everything's clamped down it's going to be a good fit. And now that I've got that arch liner in place, I'm going to drill a couple of holes to attach the arch liner to this with a couple of clips and a couple of washers behind them, and that should be more than enough to hold all this down. Right, so I've got this one back in and I've just secured it down. It's pretty solid. I know it's not the best job, but it's more functional for me. You know what I've just thought is, it's kind of like I've just made a custom sort of cooling feed to the brakes actually. If you think about that little very small gap at the front, all of that cool air comes through here to cool the brakes down. So in a way, what I've actually done is made it better. So I'll do the other side, finish that off, and then tomorrow we'll move on to the finishing touches. Okay, so today we'll start off where we left off. What I did want to do is change out the angel eyes because they're a little bit yellow and I thought they'd look better in white. So I've ordered some cheap Chinese ones. Should look better and it shouldn't take us too long to do. So let's get the old ones out and put them in. And it's kind of weird thinking that this time tomorrow we'll be somewhere in France. So let's get on with it and get them swapped out because they don't really take long to do. And if we're driving at night, it's just going to be better, isn't it? Not sure if they've ever been changed, and I'm pretty convinced they haven't been, so like you can see, they're really easy to get out. Okay, so I've got that old one out and it's a little bit burnt out, which is strange. I haven't even noticed that. Anyway, I'll go and grab the new ones. So these aren't the most prestigious brand in the world. I don't know what brand they are, but I think they should be okay. So I think they're H8 bulbs, if I can remember. Should be a bit whiter or bluer anyway. Let's put them in. So I think that's one of them. Let me give it a quick test. Nice. Okay, so it seems to be working okay. That side isn't quite as bright, but I'm not sure if it's daylight, and in real life they're not flickering, it's just because they're LED. So let's do the other side. So they're not probably the best quality, but they'll do for now. Okay, so before I close up on it, I'm going to check all the fluids, make sure they're all okay. Looked at the brake fluid the other day, that was okay. We know that all was okay, so coolant, power steering fluid, and our top screen wash up. Right, all done. Okay, so now that's done, so what I do need to do is like a sticker for driving in German City, so I'm going to put that inside of there. One sec. Right, so because we're going to Europe, we also need to change a plate. So this plate's fine in the UK, but we also need to put like GB on the back of it, or something that says it's from the UK. So what I'm going to do is I've got a different plate just with GB in the corner. I'm literally just going to clean this up and put it on top of the one that's on the car, instead of trying to put that one off and tearing off half the wrap with it. So that's on now. Technically this car is all legal to go into Europe. Got the UK and the plate, all we need that GB logo, so either one should be fine. Okay, so now I've got that plate on. It's not perfectly aligned, but it should be okay. So now we've done that, we can do the more interesting bits. So I've been saying for ages about sorting the exhaust tips out because they look a bit naff. I kind of made a mess of them, so I've had others sat around for a while. We can put them on now, and I'm also going to put a diffuser on that I've got for it. We've got enough time to put them on and the diffuser. Let's get into it. Right, so there we go, new diffuser, well, second hand but new to me diffusers on the car. Tips are on it as well, it looks absolutely perfect. It was just what I was after, and down here as well, covers that bad bit of wrap that I did, but I love how it looks now. That's pretty much perfect at the back. Also, I like the shortened plates, but we've got to have that on to go to Germany, so only thing left to do now is give it a quick clean, and well, we're pretty much done. And the best thing is we've pretty much managed to do all this just in time. So I'll give it a quick clean, and then tomorrow we'll be off to Germany. So we'll leave it here for now. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you want to see that, make sure to tap down below, hit subscribe, and well, I'll see you sometime tomorrow. Catch you in a bit.